Here's the multi-trillion-dollar question on everyone's mind right now, from Wall Street all the way to Silicon Valley. Is the AI boom a giant bubble? And is it about to burst? Let's get into it. I mean, just to get a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, look at this number. In just 18 months, over $3.3 trillion have poured into AI-linked companies. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire value of Germany's stock market. The hype is, well, it's off the charts, but the emotions are running just as high. And what's so wild about all this is the raw emotion we're seeing on display. I mean, this is Alex Karp, the billionaire CEO of Palantir, and he's reacting live on TV because legendary investors, guys like Michael Burry from The Big Short, are betting billions that his company and the whole AI boom is about to come crashing down. You can see the stakes are incredibly personal. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll dive into the anatomy of a financial bubble. Then we'll lay out the case for why AI looks like a classic bubble. After that, we'll explore the other side, why this time might actually be different. And finally, we'll get into what happens to all of us if it does pop.
All right, first things first. We got to understand how these manias even get started. And believe it or not, they tend to follow a pretty predictable pattern all throughout history.
Yeah, this kind of thing is not new. We've seen this movie before. From the famous Dutch tulip mania back in the 1600s, where a single flower bulb could cost as much as a house, to the dot-com crash that just vaporized trillions back in the early 2000s. The cycle of insane hype, followed by a painful collapse, it's a classic. The big question is, are we just watching the latest episode? So how does this happen? Well, it all comes down to this really powerful idea from the legendary investor George Soros. It's called reflexivity. The basic idea is that markets aren't just a mirror reflecting the real world. They're actually a hammer that helps build it.
Okay, here's a great way to think about it. Most of us think of the market as a barometer. It just passively measures things like company earnings or GDP. But reflexivity says the market is more like a thermostat. It doesn't just tell you the temperature, it actively changes it. When people believe something is valuable, they pour money in, which actually makes it valuable, creating this powerful feedback loop.
And here's how that feedback loop actually works, step by step. It's almost like a recipe for a bubble. First, you get a powerful new story, a new narrative, something like AI is going to change everything. Then that story attracts a flood of investment, which of course drives prices sky high. And finally, those crazy high prices are seen as proof that the story was true all along, which, you guessed it, sucks in even more money, and the cycle just keeps feeding on itself. Okay, so with that theory in mind, let's build a case for why AI looks like a classic bubble. Let's look at where the hype might be getting way ahead of reality. Okay, just look at this chart. This is the disconnect in a nutshell. We've seen an 800% explosion in AI investment, but actual US productivity, the thing that measures if all this tech is actually making our economy more efficient, has barely budged. It's up just 1.3%. So trillions are being spent, but where's the payoff? And you can see that disconnect plain as day in the company valuations. A typical healthy software company might be valued at, say, 6 times its yearly revenue, but the average AI company, 30 times. And then you have the outliers, valued at 150 times their revenue. I mean, that's just insane. You're basically paying today for 150 years worth of sales. It's a bet on a very, very, very distant future. And it doesn't stop there. The warning signs are kind of piling up. A report from MIT found that a whopping 95% of corporate AI projects failed to actually improve the bottom line. A lot of these new AI startups are really just thin wrappers, basically pretty user interfaces on top of technology built by someone else. There are even these sketchy reports of circular financing, where a big company invests in a little one and the little one uses that same money to buy the big company's products. It creates this illusion of growth. And of course, you have guys like Michael Burry betting nearly $1 billion that this whole thing is coming down.
All right, but we have to ask the big question. What if this isn't a bubble at all? What if it's the beginning of a real technological revolution? There's a really powerful case to be made that this time, it really is different.
And this is really the heart of the debate, isn't it? The dot-com bubble absolutely burst. A lot of people lost their shirts. But the internet itself, it was 100% real. It went on to change literally everything. So could AI be on the exact same path?
Bill Gates frames this perfectly. On the one hand, he just dismisses the tulip bubble, saying, basically, there was nothing there. But when he talks about AI, he says it's the biggest technical thing ever in his lifetime. I mean, come on. When the founder of Microsoft calls something that profound,
you gotta listen. And he's not alone. A lot of the big players, like the experts at JPMorgan, they see it the same way. They point to companies planning massive spending on AI. They see big demographic shifts creating new demand. And they argue that the real lesson from the dot-com bust wasn't the internet is fake, it was don't bet against the transformational tech, just be smart enough to pick the real winners who will survive the shakeout.
I mean, think about it. The dot-com crash was brutal, right? It absolutely wiped out companies like Pets.com, but who was left standing in the rubble? Amazon, Google, the companies with real businesses that went on to define the next 20 years. That crash was a clearing event.
So, okay, whether you think it's a bubble or just a shakeout, what happens if this thing pops? What's the real-world fallout? Because the consequences this time around could hit a lot closer to home. And look, this is where it gets personal for a lot of people. Right now, a record 30% of all household wealth in the US is tied up in the stock market. That is a historic high. We have never seen this level of exposure for everyday families. So a big crash wouldn't just hurt the billionaires on Wall Street, it would gut retirement accounts and savings all across the country. But here's the other really scary part. Back in 2007, before the big crash, the US debt compared to its economy, the debt-to-GDP ratio, was about 60%. The government had room to borrow and spend to save the day. Well, today, that ratio has doubled to 120%. The government's checkbook just isn't what it used to be. There's way less firepower to bail everyone out. And as if that weren't enough, there's this new wild card in the mix: shadow banking. It's basically all the lending that happens outside of the normal regulated banking system, and it is now a $3 trillion industry. That is 10 times bigger than it was in 2008. It's a huge, unregulated source of risk that just wasn't there on this scale before. I mean, the uncertainty right now is so off the charts that Michael Burry, that Michael Burry, the guy who saw the 2008 crash coming from a mile away, he reportedly just cashed out, liquidated his whole fund. And why? Because reports say he just doesn't believe this market is understandable anymore. It's too out of whack. When the guy famous for predicting crashes says things are too weird to predict, that's a huge red flag. So that brings us right back to where we started. Is this whole AI boom building the next Amazon? A technology that will genuinely define our future? Or is it just inflating the next Pets.com? A cautionary tale about what happens when hype gets completely detached from reality. The truth is, nobody knows for sure. But trillions of dollars and maybe the health of the whole global economy are riding on the answer.